Hey, we're here with Andre. We're just talking about his hire of the VA, and the VA's already got deals under contract that we're going to close, so that's awesome. And we're just talking about the deals that he got and the whole process and how it's working with him so far. So how's everything going, man?
Hey Russell, how's it going? Appreciate you having me on once again. What is my fourth time on your show? I feel like a celebrity.
Right, right. Well, now I'm putting you in the membership area with the training, so it's gonna be stuck there.
All right, great. That sounds
Yeah.
good.
So we're gonna talk about so you hired your VA. He's uh
hmm
making offers every day. So what's his daily goal as far as making offers?
So we got him at a goal of two. We need at least two appointments a day. So he's calling about. He has Ring Central. So he's dialing about 300 to 350 a day, and then he's also looking at Zillow, also looking for sale by owners.
Oh,
Because we sent them some of the videos that you had. So and for his training when he first started. So that's pretty much what he does for us. And then he also looks at REI reply for us too.
awesome. So we hired him through Upwork, right? It was Upwork?
Yeah, we went to Upwork and we went to I think it was a top agent or a top performer. We looked for somebody that spoke fluent English, and then also we kind of looked at far as what how much they have made since being part of Upwork. See how much they was making, helping people out on Upwork.
Yeah. Awesome, man. And he has three deals under contract or two right now?
He has two with us. This is his going on fourth weekend with us. So
That's
yeah, so
quick,
he
man. Like for
yeah,
people that like
because
for students that come in and be like, "Oh, I can't get a deal," and this guy just started less than a month and he got two already.
yeah, he got two already. He has the one on Harvard, and we got the one on Princeton that he brought in. I also got two look like strong leads he sent in as well yesterday and the day before yesterday. So one of them I'm calling back today. Then the other one I have to call back Monday when they get back from vacation.
Nice. He's overperforming because usually like 4 weeks to get one deal is actually overperforming. Like usually it's gonna take like 2 months or for a VA to get one deal. So it's like
Oh
keeping
yeah,
doing well, yeah.
yeah, he's definitely overperforming. Because also another thing he's doing, he's actually analyzing the deals for us now too. So I'll
Awesome.
take a look at it before I send it over to you. Just kind of make
Yeah.
sure that it's a good deal or something that we need to follow up on and get some numbers for. But yeah, he's actually putting the deals into the our CRM also.
Awesome. So he's coming up with the offers and you're calling them back right now or
No, so what I'm doing, once I look at what he sends me in the CRM, I kind of go back and verify, see if it's a good deal. I kind of research them on PropWire and Deal Machine. If I feel it's a good deal or something like that, because sometimes we get stuff people just purchased it, they just bought it a year ago, and they want the max
yeah.
amount for it and stuff like that. So then what I do from there, I pretty much just send it over to you. And actually, no, he got us three deals. He had got us that Ottawa deal too.
Which one?
The Ottawa, the one we may do at the
Auto.
tenant buyer.
Oh, the rent to own. Okay.
Yeah, the
Gotcha.
rent to own. Yeah. So we waiting to hear back from them. That's in the trust. So they got to have a meeting with the family with that one there. But so far we gave the best deal. Everybody else they was undercutting them, but they love the tenant buyer option.
Awesome. And then you have another one from way back when, Country Club, that we're gonna close soon,
Yeah,
right?
man, you've been working on the Country Club Hills almost a year. Been about maybe 8 months now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we finally get ready to close. Look like they're gonna set it from the 25th. I'm thinking. I think that's what they said.
So that one is the one that had the tenants with the dog that wouldn't let anyone in, right?
No, that's the one in South Village, but this one did have a tenant as well. They let us in one time, and then from there they went incognito on us. They just disappeared.
Gotcha.
So the
Yeah.
owner, he's out of Georgia. He want to get rid of it. So we, paid him a little extra so he can go through the eviction process. So we finally got them out. So we're pretty much just ready to roll on that one. Like I said earlier, we're just waiting on the point of sale inspection come back from Country Club Hills.
Yeah, exactly. So these we have two with a buyer. So I think Princeton we're making what's the spread on these two?
On Princeton, we're doing, I think, about 9,000 on that one there,
Mm-hmm. And then
and the same for Country Club Hill. Country Club Hill is about 9,500 for each on that one as well.
Nice. So two deals, there's like 36,000 in profit.
Yeah, 2 deals, 36,000 in profit. Yeah,
Nice. That's
yeah, and honestly, that's not bad. Consider most people take a year just to make that, and we
right.
still got a couple of years left. I mean, say a couple of years, a couple of months left in the year.
Exactly, man. That's awesome, man. I'm proud of you. You're doing a good job, man.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate your mentoring and your help and stuff like that. I told you a year ago, I said, Russell, I'm going back into your program. I'm gonna be focused this time because I looked at it a couple of years ago and just put it on the shelf. But it's hard work, but once you stay focused on it and stay consistent, you'll begin to see results. Not as quick as you perhaps want to, but you will eventually see results.
Exactly. Awesome work, man. And what we're gonna do is like um I want you to like get to the point of like kind of like what I do, like you start a Facebook group,
Mm-hmm.
start telling people you do mentorship, and then eventually people want to be people want your mentorship, do like a weekly call with them in the Facebook group. That
Okay.
I think that's the next step for you. Like just model exactly what I do, in the Facebook group, doing trainings all the time,
Mm-hmm.
showing them showing them exactly going from step one to all the way to the closing table. What do you think about
Yeah.
doing that?
Yeah, that's fine. I think I could definitely do that there. And of course, I'm bring you in on some sessions as well.
Yeah.
Because you've been doing it for what, 13, 14 years, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, I think it's 14, maybe 15 now, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're a guru in the game.
But yeah, I
Nice.
think that's the next step for you. This VA is going and looks like his return on investment is perfect. Like, you're paying him he's making money. So, uh,
Yeah, so we paying
once
our VA, just to let people know, we paying our VA about $5 an hour. He's
hmm
working 25 hours a week. So it's close to $1,000 a month, but we didn't already made that in some just in 4 weeks with him.
right. So once he's rolling, couple closings under the table, which is going to happen the next few days. Um, Another thing you think about is, keep him rolling 3, 6 months, and then all of a sudden you can hire a second guy, and then he can train
Hmm.
him, and then he can train the second guy, like because he's already experienced, he knows what he's doing. So we can
Yeah,
have him train the new VA coming in. Now you have two doing the same thing, right? And then you're always checking and making their daily offers, and of course, I'm paying this guy 1,000 a month. Is he bringing any revenue in? So, if you're paying a guy 1,000 a month, he's bringing in 5,000 a month. You can do that a limited amount of times, right?
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes,
So
yes, absolutely.
you can scale it, right? So, and of course, you get some bad apples here and there where you got to let them go and hire someone new. So it's just, once you find someone good, which I think you know, you found this guy who's really good because you were pretty diligent on the front end with interviews and trying to research the right people, right? So
Yeah, me and you, I interviewed him first, and then I brought you in for the second interview.
yeah,
And then he was pretty much the only one really on Upwork that I seen that kind of was specializing in wholesale as well. So
yeah,
at first, like I told you before, I wasn't gonna even. It was somebody else me and you had interviewed prior to him, but they never got back with us with the information we required. And
right.
so I was like, man, maybe just call this guy up and interview him anyway. Some just told me to just interview him, and we did and hired him. So man, it's been a blessing.
Yeah, and I think we interviewed a couple other people that I think
Mhm.
one you sent me that he wasn't, for in my opinion, he didn't speak their really good English. I didn't understand like everything he was saying.
Yeah, they sent us some samples of some of their VAs, and then even when we interviewed him, he didn't speak pretty good English. Then we
Yeah,
had another one that didn't have a dollar system, and I kind of wanted somebody with a dollar system that can really kind of reach out and call these people
right.
versus individual. And you can, like you said, you can do the Google voice, the Google phone, and dial
Yeah,
individually. I wanted to scale the business. I wanted to be a little bit more efficient. So
yeah,
that's why I require somebody with the dollar. And this gentleman
yeah.
has Ring Central. So that's the good thing.
Yeah, yeah, we have a couple VAs on batch dialer,
Mm.
so I like
Yeah.
batch. Yeah. I would say that Mojo, batch dialer are two of the best as
Hmm.
far as cold calling. Yeah, and then REI reply for texting, of course,
Yes.
the best one. But I think that's the next level, man. Just monitor this VA, making sure he's doing a good job. Once he has that experience,
Hmm.
now it's time to consider hiring a second VA. And then all of a sudden, at the same time, you're building your Facebook group, you're getting more people you're mentoring, and then it's up to you, man. Like you don't have to charge like a fee for mentorship. I did when I started mentoring people, it was free. I did a meetup
Yeah.
group. I started a meetup group in Chicago and just brought people in and just gave everything away for free. Hey, if I provide value for you, just send me the deal and we can,
Hmm.
split profits and all that, right? So, uh,
Yeah.
and then that's where like once you start mentoring a lot of people, you wake up and you got like 20 deals to look at and analyze, like and now you're not
Right.
chasing deals anymore, you're not, on the phone with yourself anymore. You just you wake up, you got 20 deals in your inbox that you need to analyze and see if they're good deals or not, right?
Hmm.
So that's where you want to be is like uh you're not chasing deals anymore, deals are coming to you, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the one thing we do, we offer our VA an incentive as well for each deal that we close, a $300 bonus. So I think
Oh
that's
yeah.
motivation for him as well. And I believe he's over in the Philippines. I believe he is, Pakistan, one of them. So yeah, he's over there.
Yeah.
Real good guy. So
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the more they do well, we could surprise them with bonuses even more, so
yeah, yeah, definitely want to keep him motivated and stuff like that. So, but so far it's been a phenomenal month for us. I think this is my best month I've had in wholesaling since I've been doing it almost a year now. But this month makes a year.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, you got bigger spreads on these because I remember we closed like six already and they were all like
Hmm.
small spreads, but these ones are pretty, a lot bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that comes to learning to negotiate, and
Hmm.
seeing, what area we in, the type of house, and kind of what our investors are looking for, where we can kind of get a bigger spread as well.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So when do you want to start a Facebook group and all that and start offering mentorship?
You know what? I probably need to. I'm taking a digital marketing class now, so I probably need to start up as soon as possible, and then implement the digital marketing to it as well.
Yeah. I mean, you can start very simple, just like, I closed, put your revenue up there. I closed, X amount of dollars without using, without getting into debt, without investing a lot of cash.
Hmm.
Anyone want to learn, right? In
Yeah.
your Facebook page and, all your social media, and people will reach out to you and then, you can teach people, then you get them into your mentorship, right? So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
but when I started, I mean, I would meet people, all the time, like face to face, and just sit down with them and go over everything. So that's something to
Hmm.
consider too. If you think you got a good mentee that you're training, that's going to do a
Yeah.
good job. That I would meet them at Starbucks and literally be there for like hour, 2 hours, just training them, teaching them everything I know. And then of course, there's going to be a lot of people that invest a lot of time into and they don't do anything, right? And then there are people that
Yeah.
you invest a lot of time into and you close six, seven, eight, 10 deals with, right? So you
Hmm.
just have to keep going, right? Like, hey, this guy didn't work out, but let me help the next guy, right? Let me just help the next and keep going, right? So
Right.
yeah, it's just a matter of you're getting more people branding yourself more, getting people more aware of who you are and what you do, and the more people that know
Hmm.
what you do, the easier this business gets.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah. So, when you didn't answer your question, when do you think you want to start the Facebook group and start? Uh,
Oh, you know what? Yeah. I'm gonna say give me about 2 weeks. Cause yeah, give me about two
yeah.
weeks.
So, so we could, I mean, creating a Facebook group is very easy, right? It could take you a couple
Yeah.
seconds to do it, right? So you can have it like where it's like mine, where you can have your Facebook group, and then you can have all your membership videos like in the guides, kind of like how I have it.
Okay.
And then they can just go in there and go step one, step two, step three, and watch all your trainings. Because I use ClickFunnels obviously for membership sites and all that, but you don't need to get that advanced yet. But you can just use
Okay.
the Facebook group. and just have all your membership videos in there and have them watch the trainings. Because it's good
Hmm.
to, when you're training someone, to record everything so that you don't have to keep repeating yourself over and over again, right? So it's good to
Uh-huh.
it's good to, like, when you get a new mentor on board, start training them, record it, put it in the group, and every time you get a new one, you just have them go through the videos, right?
Right. Now you have two groups. You have a paid group and an unpaid group, correct?
Yeah, so the free group is for attracting, people, just providing free value, free information.
Hmm.
Hey, if you want to join, then I have the paid group. So eventually you can do that. Like if you want to do a paid membership, you can, right? So
Yeah.
if you want to do some type of paid membership, you can get people to pay you and join, or you can do it for free. Just provide value for free, and and uh you can have one group. If you're doing it paid, yeah, you probably should have two separate groups.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be free starting off.
Yeah. And then
That sounds good.
think about doing meetups too. I mean, live meetings, live meetups. People love that. Especially since COVID, all those meetings got shut down. That's just something to think about too. Eventually, is starting a meetup group and just having uh uh providing free information, just giving free
Hmm.
value to everybody, and then you start branding yourself, people start knowing who you are, what you do. So
Yeah.
that's something that, like, I think when I started doing meetups is like the business got so much easier because of this deals just started coming to me like crazy, right? So it's just people know who you are, a lot of people know your name, and they just send you deals, right? So
Right.
I would say meetup groups. And what's your end goal? You said you want to eventually get into fix and flips and stuff like that. Like, what's your end?
Yeah. Eventually fix and flips. I know I'm supposed to get with actually, actually today, because I'm part of the NASIA real estate meetup group, kind of like what you were talking about meetup groups, and so actually I'm supposed to go to one of the sites today, part of this group that I'm a part of. It's a nice little group, only $100 a month membership,
Yeah.
because that's the only thing they do is flips. So yeah, that's my end goal. Definitely want to get into the flips. And then I was talking to you about Michael Kevorkian as
Mm,
well. So he does a lot of flips, but predominantly flips. So I'll be doing some
yeah.
work with him in the future as well. So eventually, yeah, I want to get to the point where I'm doing some flips. And I heard you was a flipping guru back in the day too. I mean, one of these contractors like, yeah, me and Russell, you do a whole bunch of flips.
Yeah.
Then he
Yeah.
said, Russell slowed down on me. You need to talk to him and get him back into the business.
Who was that? Who?
He was the contractor I met when we closed that house in Riverdale. I can't think of the gentleman name, but he was the contractor that came with the owner, and he told me that y'all used to
Oh,
work
yeah.
together. Yeah, he did a lot of
Alejandro.
good rehab.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
that's him.
Yeah, me and him probably did like 30 or 40 together, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he did say that. Yeah, he did say that.
Yeah, yeah. At the peak when COVID hit, my story, like, I had like 30 flips going on at the same time,
Mm,
so I'm like, man, I don't want to get into debt anymore, right? So, um,
right.
yeah, eventually we'll get back into doing a lot of rehabs. It's just a matter of time, right? So, yeah,
Yeah, and I'm cool. I want to get to the goal at least 5 to 10 a year.
yeah.
If I get to that 5 or 10 a year, I'm not trying to get, I know you was up there 30.
The
I know
thing
this
is,
one guy doing 60 a year. So I think
yeah,
10 is good for me and my wife.
yeah. The with rehabs, you're putting in a lot of risk, and if you mess it up, you can lose your shirt pretty fast. So you got to be
Yeah,
very careful. Yeah, rehabs are very cash intensive. So you gotta, look at worst case scenario at the back end, and if I lose X amount of dollars, can I take that, right? So
right.
what, yeah, yeah. And with meetings too, like if you're looking to, do rehabs and raise money, capital,
Hmm.
that's how I raised like millions and billions of dollars from my meetup.
Right.
Doing rehab. So I actually, when I did my meetings, I would present a deal and there would be like 40, 50 people in the room. Say, hey, does anyone want to invest in this deal? I need 75,000 in capital, right? And then I would present the deal, show them the numbers, show them the pictures, And then,
Hmm.
yeah, I had five, six, seven people raise their hands, say, yeah, I'm interested. Get tell me more, or can we go see the property? So
Right.
the meetup, yeah, you can raise a lot of money, bring you deals, raise a lot of money. And same thing too is like you can do it virtually, Facebook group, once
Hmm.
a week, or you can do a live meeting in person. And that's something I'm looking at doing here in Florida is starting a live meetup group pretty soon. Pretty
Yeah,
soon.
that'd be good in your area.
Yeah, yeah. I already been to a bunch of them and none of them are really good at all. So I'm pretty sure if I start one, it's gonna be like a lot of people there. One
Yeah,
guy,
yeah, I went to one. I know this girl named her name Liz. I think she's in your area as well. And I know well, I think that her and her mom do a lot of wholesaling as well in that area. But yeah, definitely, I think that'd be good for you, especially if you're on that Meetup app.
yeah, I went to his meeting and it was like the guy just started it like 2 months ago and he's already got like 60 people in the group and they don't
Right.
even like talk about it. It's more like just a networking get together type of thing.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm like, man, if I started a meeting, I'd probably have 50 people right away. So you should think about that too in your area. Something to consider
Hmm.
for the next step. As you progress. That's the
Yeah.
next step I would say. You want to get into rehabs, you're gonna have to have a lot of money, a lot of capital. So you're gonna have to raise a lot of money. So a meetup is probably the best thing for you.
Yeah, and I'm gonna start off small. I don't need no big mansion to try to rehab something ranch style, something.
Right.
Uh, Go there and then just work my way up.
And the great thing about wholesaling is like, you can pick and choose like, hey, this deal I have under contract. I'm gonna put it out there for a $30,000 wholesale fee, and if a buyer
Mhm.
wants it, but I'm gonna consider rehabbing it myself, right? So
Right.
it's like if you send a deal out, like that's kind of like what I did back in, when I was buying a lot of rehabs. I would send the deal
Mhm.
out my wholesale list for a 20, 30 grand spread. And if there's a ton of buyers interest, to me that means that's a good flip for me. But if I send it out
Right.
and there's no interest, to me that means I'm not gonna buy that one, right?
Mhm.
So
Right. Okay.
if I got like 10 people that are interested that want the property, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna consider taking this, right? Because it looks like there's a lot of demand for this property. But vice
Mhm.
versa, don't ever be the guy that, you're trying to wholesale it, no one wants it, and then you end up buying it because it looks like a good deal. The reason why no one else bought it is because it's not a good deal, right? So
Right.
yeah, so only take the wholesale deals down where it's like you have tons of buyers that want it and the numbers look great, of course, and everything makes
Mhm.
sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Sounds good.
we can look at that too as far as I know we were looking at deals to work with the hedge fund to do flips, but
Mhm.
it's like these deals that we have now, we'd probably make the same wholesaling versus flipping it. So,
Right.
but yeah, in the future when we have a nice spread and the deal that makes sense, we have that, backup hedge fund buyer that can fund it and rehab it for us.
Yeah, that sounds good as well.
Yeah. So anything else, man? Like anything else before we end this recording?
No, not. I think we discussed everything, but yeah, I'll definitely recommend, like you said, once somebody done did 5 or 6 wholesale deals on their own, then you probably want to start looking into kind of scaling the business. Maybe get you a virtual
Yeah.
assistant, take a little bit off your load.
Yeah, what I love about what you did is like most people get stuck like when they get their first deal, they make some money, then they close 5 deals, but they never scale from there. They're always doing one deal every couple months because they never hire or they never start mentoring people, outsourcing.
Yeah,
So there's people that stuck there for I've known years that never want to hire. So it's good that you quickly hired, quickly started you're mentoring a few people now. So it's good that you're doing that as quickly as possible.
yeah, and then yeah, also yeah, I am mentoring. Like we sent over my cousin, he on the list, and we had a VA from Fiverr. What's the name? Shahid. Did some calling for us. So we may got one out of those 1,000. We probably got maybe 1 or 2 potential leads I have to follow up with as well.
Yeah.
So If we can grab one out of that, that's perfect as well. And that one there, we paid what $90 for them to call. So we get one deal out of that
Yeah,
worth of $90.
exactly. Yeah. That's the VA from Fiverr, right? Like
Yeah,
the
that's the VA from Fiverr. So yeah, so the difference between so people know the difference between Fiverr, normally they just do that one specific job and they're done with it.
right. Yeah.
Upwork, you're actually hiring somebody hourly to
Yeah.
do a task for you, and you put them on contract for a month, 2 months, whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, so the Fiverr is good for like, I'm not ready to hire, I'm not ready to
Hmm.
commit to paying someone 1,000 a month, but I'll pay him per project where $100 it calls like 1,000 people for you, right? So
Yeah,
that's what the Fiverr is good for. And there's a lot of the guy that we recommend, I think he's pretty good. He has lots of good reviews. So if you're gonna use
yeah,
someone where they have lots of good reviews, you research them. Don't just hire someone that has no reviews and is brand new, right?
yeah, definitely, absolutely. You definitely want to make sure, and also you want to make sure that you buy back your time as well. By me having a VA, it kind of alleviate me through the day. And normally, I know he works from 1 to 6, so throughout the day, I'll probably look about 3 or 4 o'clock, see if he got any deals in, and then 6 o'clock for sure I'm looking, and then I'm looking at them. Then I'll send them over to Russell about 6:30, 7 o'clock once I had a chance to take a look at them as well.
Awesome, man. That's good, man. You got the system down, you got it
Yeah,
working, you got some money, you're gonna have some revenue coming in the next couple weeks. So everything's looking good, man. Just start the Facebook group, I would say, as quickly as possible and start getting out there and telling people what you do and start mentoring and
yeah,
eventually, you know, model what I do I would say model what I do as far as the Facebook group and the weekly calls.
hmm,
And then as well, think about a meetup group, man, if you want to start one. So sometimes like when I started mine, I think I quit my job. I was making like 60 grand a year at my job. And then in the first uh year where the first year I didn't make anything. I made like maybe 20 grand or something. But the second year I
hmm,
made like 120 grand, right? So when I made
right,
double what I did at my job, I quit. And then as soon as I quit, I started a meetup group. And I was just like, man, I need to tell everyone about this. Like I made 120 grand without, getting into debt, without investing much money at all. So as soon as that happened, then I doubled it the next year. I went from 120 to
hmm,
240 and when I went full time. So
right,
and from there it doubled again the next year. The third year it went close to 500,000, 500,000. So
right,
this can scale like that where you're doubling every year pretty quickly. So it's just a matter of, you know, thinking, hiring, mentoring, eventually meetup group, and
hmm,
uh, and you know, it looks like you're going on the same path here, like where you hope you're gonna double it and then double it.
right.
Yeah.
All right, sound like some work got to be done. Every
Yeah.
time I talk to Russell, he got more work for me.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah, sounds
And
good.
And as we go as well, we see a nice rehab we want to take down. We'll look at it, run the numbers, and if it makes sense, we'll take it down. So
Okay.
yeah. All right, brother.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you for your time. I'm gonna call Country Club Hills and hoping we get this done as soon as possible. This deal.
All right, brother. Appreciate you, man.
All right, thanks. Have a good day.
All right, God bless you, man.
All right, you too.